Hello and welcome back to the Stuff and Nonsense podcast, where we don't talk about anything, we talk about anything. You might be wondering where I am right now. It is in fact the London Palladium. Am I actually there? Who knows? You'll never know.
It looks like you are. It does look like you are.
There's a reason for it though, because today we are talking about comedy, and it's not just us two. Who we got, George?
Yeah, it's not just us two because it's a Wednesday, and Wednesday means that it's not just us two. Feels like we've not recorded one that's just us for a while now, because I think we did it a while ago. We recorded a few. But yeah, we thought we would get a great guest on for an episode about comedy. We've got Dominic the comic. So, yeah, welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm well. As I said, just had a poo, had some tea. Ready to start the day at 11:54.
I've got the tea, but I didn't do the other bit. But, you know, maybe later. There's still time. So, Dominic, if you don't know of him, 4,000, well, very nearly 4,000 TikTok followers.
Nearly.
Yeah, and tell them a little bit more about yourself if they don't know who you are. So I know you from TikTok quite. I've seen a fair number of your TikToks, but what else do you do?
So, my day job currently is as a bin man, which is kind of how the TikTok thing started. Because my TikTok kind of journey was, I was posting videos and just nothing was happening at all. And then I thought, right, I'm going to post one last one, and then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to bin it off. Because I think TikTok's a bit of a disgusting thing, really. You're wasting a lot of time just scrolling. Anyway, so then I said I'm going to post one last one, and then it got like 700,000 views. So I said, well, I can't stop now. I've got to keep going. Which is what happened. So now since then I've been doing one a day. I'm trying to do two now. Just jokes, yeah. But what's good about it is obviously during this time, as a stand-up, I can't do anything, but it makes me keep writing and keep having to create stuff because I need to put a TikTok out. Otherwise, I would just do nothing. So
well, I know. So what were you doing? Were you doing stand-up beforehand then?
Yeah. I'm about a year into stand-up now, and away from the TikTok stuff, I'm going to uni in September to study comedy actually in Manchester.
Nice.
So cool. Yeah, because I live in Somerset at the moment, and fuck all's going on, so I need to move to a city where there's nice ladies and lots of comedy.
There we go. Yeah, and I know a few people from a few stand-ups. I know like a lot of people will know of Isaac HP, and I know he did stand-up. And now he's absolutely huge on TikTok just from doing it during lockdown because there was not really any other option or any other outlet to kind of put comedy out. So yeah, comedy. We're going to be talking about our own kind of things that we've done where we've attempted to be funny. I'm pretty sure Dominic will probably have more experiences of that than us. You could argue that we try and be funny on here. Whether it works, I'm not entirely sure. But we're also going to be talking about our favourite comedy from TV and film, that kind of thing, our favourite stand-up comedians as well. So, yeah, in terms of Vito, what are your favourite kind of things that you or we have done where we have attempted to be funny? Because we've tried to be funny a fair few times, and I don't know how many people have seen it. I don't know how many people have been there to enjoy it or whether it's been funny. The YouTube springs to mind that we used to do. That no one saw.
The YouTube videos, like just walking around the street. I think interacting with people is the funniest because you never know what they're going to do. Walking around asking, there was do eggs, which we just asked someone, do eggs. And then
that was the Yahoo Answers one, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we did a video where we went onto Yahoo Answers and found like the weirdest ones and then asked members of the public. And it was kind of funny. Some people were like, what's going on? That's the issue with talking to people in public. Like, some people just have no idea how to respond, or they don't want to be like approached in public. So that
this is Stratford as well.
I did a video of that. It was my first ever YouTube video. I was with my mate in central London, and we were just walking around just doing shit, and then it got like 3,000 views, but it got 130 thumbs down and 30 thumbs up, and one guy commented saying, I think you should both kill yourselves, to be honest. So, you know, publicity is publicity, but I was definitely on the negative side. Anyway.
Still got a reaction. Still got a reaction there. And
but I think people just don't like being like spoken to in the it's just a normal day. Where do you live?
Yeah.
What, in London?
Well, Midlands. Yeah.
Well,
So,
I
West
know,
Midlands. So,
times have changed,
so yeah, they have. It's like, because some towns you'll get where everyone's really friendly, and where I'm from in Warwickshire, a lot of people are friendly, but you do get some people. You get a lot of tourists around here usually, and they often, you don't know if someone's a tourist or a local, and they can respond differently, that kind of thing. But yeah, YouTube I think is a good outlet for comedy and stuff like that as well. But Dominic, like, where did you actually start in terms of, because obviously you said you do a bit of YouTube, you've done a bit of YouTube and also the TikTok as well. When did that kind of transition? Where, did you start with the stand-up, or was it YouTube first, or was it kind of
So I
trajectory?
think it was, funnily enough, I was seeing this girl, I think it was in March, just before the lockdown hit. And one day, I always watched stand-up just because I wanted to be more funny in person. I messaged her one day saying, I want to be a comedian. And she was like, bad idea. And I was like, I think you're never supportive of my ideas. She said, I'd be supportive. They were good ideas. And that obviously didn't work out with her. So look at me now. Then in March, I saw a course, an online course on Instagram, and it was like a start comedy course, like an 8-week from nothing to then you do stand-up by the 8th week. And I did that, and I did the stand-up, and it was just amazing. And I just thought, just let's do this. So it was quite a rash decision, I guess. And then TikTok didn't start till January, I think. But YouTube's tough. Like, there's a lot of TikTok's way easier than YouTube. I think.
Yeah, TikTok is. I'm still waiting to master like tagging and just kind of we because we have a TikTok, and we get weirdly, like, I think in terms of the responses we get from TikTok, I swear, like, when I share them on Instagram, that's when people then like message me about them saying that they're funny or whatever. But I think once we build up a bit more of a following on TikTok, and once they get shared about, and once we're getting them in front of more people, I think it's only a matter of time. We're going to keep going with it.
It's time, but I think about, you've got like, what, 2,000 something followers, right?
We have, I don't know how many we have on TikTok. We don't have too many on TikTok, but Instagram's kind of piling up. And yeah, it's just about kind of getting that balance. But in terms of stand-up, Vito, I know we went to see Russell Howard, and we're meant to be going to see Jimmy Carr at some point, but we'll find out. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But who were your like stand-ups or what was the comedy that you kind of watched as a child? Because I think everyone stuff just gets put on the TV when you're a child. I don't even know how much your parents care about what gets put on TV, because it's half the time you're being a distraction because you're an annoying child, and they just put something on TV. Was there anything that used to catch your eye in terms of comedy when you were younger? Because I feel like there was for me, possibly. I don't know.
I quite liked Russell Howard. People like Russell Howard or one-liner comedians like Stuart Francis or Milton Jones. They were quite funny because one-liners are just pretty much just glorified dad jokes, but they're quite hit or miss. But I quite liked one-liners. I think if I was a stand-up comedian, it'd probably be one-liners because
they are pretty good. I do like a one-liner. Yeah, like Tim Vine as well. Or they're based off like a lot of Tim Vines, I swear, are just like, they're like the most simple jokes, but it's the delivery. Like some stand-up comedians are more like delivery than they are content, and some are the other way around, I feel. Where some people they put a lot of effort into the joke, other people put a lot of effort into like the way they tell the joke. But were there any people that stood out to you, Dominic, as well, like when you were growing up? Who was it who kind of made you do it?
Oh, when I was growing, I loved Ricky Gervais. But what everyone does is when people start comedy, they go, "I want to be like Ricky Gervais. I want to push boundaries. I want to be offensive." But it just doesn't work. If I step on stage and make a joke about rape or ISIS or racism, they'll go, "No, I'm not booking him again. Fuck off," because I don't have I don't have the millions of followers or the huge career that Ricky Gervais had. But so now I think my favourite comic is probably James Acaster. I think
he was someone that I was going to mention. Yeah, he's probably like one of mine.
He's what you were saying. He's very delivery orientated because he's so weird. But the thing is, he's not that weird. It's an act, partly. But
yeah, like you
I love
can't. There's no one who I think's like really closely comparable to James Acaster. Like,
no.
Obviously, he fits in well with like the comedians that he works with, and he obviously has a podcast with Ed Gamble, and he's works with like Josh Whittaker and people like that. But his actual style of comedy, yeah, I don't think I've come across somebody like him. For me, it was always like, because when I was like at school and college and stuff, I used to watch a lot of panel shows. So I'd watch like 8 out of 10 Cats, Mock the Week, those kind of things. That's how I started liking Jimmy Carr, was probably from 8 out of 10 Cats. But then Sean Locke I've always really liked. I've always wanted to see him, and like Mickey Flanagan, people like that. And like so many of the people on Mock the Week. I like a lot of the people on Mock the Week. I do like Frankie Boyle, and he's another one of those where like it's difficult, I guess, for a young comedian who maybe is inspired by Frankie Boyle to go in.
Yeah, you kind of have needed to like be doing it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like people like Ricky Gervais and Frankie Boyle, they already started doing it before people deemed it offensive. Although it nowadays, yeah,
you can tell by like the delivery and like the delivery of a lot of modern comedians how inspired they are by Ricky Gervais in terms of it's that kind of deadpan. It's just the same sort of vibe. I don't know if it's not really deadpan quite, but it's like this just exactly the same style as Ricky Gervais, or very similar at least. Like you can see elements of it in so many people, and I think
Ricky's very he puts himself like up on a pedestal almost, but then he does it in an ironic way, so he's not seen as arrogant. But then I can't go up and say, yeah, I've been in a helicopter. I live in where does he live?
I'm not sure.
It's a place in London.
The
little park, Hampstead. I have a big house in Hampstead because I just don't have that. Whereas Ricky is rich and famous, which is why people think Kevin Hart's not that funny anymore. And I would agree. But he's just he's too famous. He's too famous. He can't joke about himself because he's too famous. And the fact he still has specials is impressive.
I think that can be an issue. I think because so much comedy as well comes from personal experience and audiences being able to relate to that personal experience, and you become less and less relatable the more famous you become, or like most people do. I don't know. Ricky Gervais, I think, is one of those people who's managed to retain that kind of authentic kind of nature, and he still does things and says things that are relatable.
Well, Ricky still, my dad's girlfriend lives in Hampstead, and he still walks his dog around Hampstead and talks to like the locals.
Nice.
He's very different.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Kevin Hart couldn't do that. It would just be too much stress.
No.
It depends what you do as well. Because like you see, like Kevin Hart's been in so many big films as well. I mean, now that Ricky Gervais has done things like Afterlife, I think it's sort of amplified him a bit more. I think do you know what I mean? Like Kevin Hart's done big things with big people, so and plus America, like once you're famous in America, you're famous, so obviously makes it a lot more difficult to do these sort of things.
I guess Ricky Gervais is kind of still kept.
He's kind of like he's kept his.
It's the kind of
and
it's the same. He still, if he writes like a new series or something like Afterlife or like Derek, he always has like the same sort of actors, or he doesn't kind of, he's not bringing in and collaborating. Pretty much. Yeah. Weirdly enough, me and Gabby, my girlfriend, we're trying to start with The Office and then connect it to an actor and then do this thing where we turn up back at the office. So like, we were like, The Office has Ricky Gervais, who's also in Afterlife, who's with this guy, who's also in this, and then like name all of these different shows and then go back to The Office. And we managed to nail it yesterday. We spent way too much time doing that.
That's interesting.
But it was weirdly satisfying at the end. But yeah, I like that. Like Russell Howard, I've never seen, well, obviously we went to see him, but he used to live in Leamington, which is like really close to me.
I actually saw him walking around in Leamington once. Sorry, just to interrupt.
Yeah, I know.
Oh shit!
I think my dad and my aunt both saw him. My dad, because my dad worked in Leamington before, and my aunt lives in Leamington. They both saw him.
He lived in Bristol.
I think he's
He
moved
probably
now.
does now.
Yeah,
I think.
I feel like he hasn't been in Leamington for a couple of years now. I don't know why he even lived in Leamington. It's
Quite a
not
nice
like,
place.
yeah, it's nice. It's just not. I don't know. It's not like close to anything.
Harry Redknapp lived. I think Harry Redknapp lived in Leamington for a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe they were having an affair together.
Maybe. That'd be funny.
Harry Redknapp and Russell Howard. Yeah, good combination. Bringing back Harry Redknapp again, because we talked about him covered in custard before.
Sorry, but who is Harry? I don't know who Harry Redknapp is, just to clarify.
He's
a footballer, isn't he?
Yeah, manager
yeah.
manager and former player, and he's Frank Lampard's uncle. Is that right? Is he his uncle?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
But yeah, we talked about him covered in custard in a previous episode. I don't know.
As you
That's
do.
the kind of thing you want to hear about. Please go back and listen to previous episodes. But like, obviously, stand-up is a big part of comedy. There's also your sketch shows, your sitcoms, panel shows, that kind of thing. Dominic, did you have like a kind of favourite format of comedy? Like, has stand-up always been the thing that's kind of caught your eye, or did you ever used to watch like sitcoms and stuff like that? And
I watch everything, but I just haven't physically done anything apart from stand-up at this point. But I watch sitcoms, and I wouldn't really think about doing a sitcom. But now I'm going to uni, I'll be doing sitcoms and stuff. But I look at it very different now. Like, I look at stand-up and kind of analyze it and think, why is that getting a laugh, and why isn't that? But I reckon my favourite sitcom is the IT Crowd. You watch that?
Yes. Yeah, amazing. I'm a big fan of the IT Crowd.
Richard Ayoade in it is the
he's
best.
He's good in literally every single thing that he does. Like, I had the Disney Pixar film Soul on yesterday just for no reason, and he does a voice in that. And
does he?
Yeah, he's just like, he's everywhere, but he's one of those who he does like Hollywood films and stuff in terms of like mainly voiceovers, but he did
a film with Vince Vaughn and Jonah Hill and
yeah.
Did you see that?
I don't think I saw it.
It was a bit shit, to be honest, but
I can't remember what it's called.
She was in it.
I can picture like the like poster for it, but I can't.
It wasn't Dodgeball, was it?
No. They were like capturing like a monster that was killing people.
Yeah, I'll Google that. But yeah, the IT Crowd, like, for me, I think I watched the IT Crowd loads when I was sort of like when I was at college, that kind of age. But Peep Show's always been like...
Oh, I was watching that right before this.
Peep Show, yeah. I need to go back into... I've not... Because I probably watched the whole thing start to finish like 3 or 4 times. I know Vito's watched it a bit as well.
I watched it recently, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of due a rewatch, I think. What was I going to Google?
So good. But then I think in terms of sitcoms, I don't think anything UK based is going to beat the Inbetweeners. I just think they just really set the bar.
The Inbetweener, yeah. What's your? Here we go. This is a bit of a controversial one. What's your take on Mrs. Brown's Boys? Because I
haven't seen it.
It gets so much credit, but I can't. It's, to me, it just isn't funny.
It was funny to begin with. When it first started, I thought it was all right, but yeah, there's too many like controversies and stuff. I just thought.
Yeah,
I don't think any of them actually even like each other. They're all like family as well.
Yeah, I just never gone for it. That film with Richard Ayoade and who else was in it again? Jonah Hill and Vince Vaughn. Yeah, it's called The Watch.
And Ben Stiller, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that a watch at some point. Actually, fun. Didn't even mean that pun. Walked into it, but yeah, I don't know. Panel shows, I think, were probably the big thing for me. Vito, what were yours like? Because obviously we've spoken a bit about stand-up, but I don't know. What else did you used to watch? Did
you ever used to watch Balls of Steel?
Yes, Balls of Steel was really good. I can't think.
People like
Nedge's Urban
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh, you'd love it. I think you'd like it. Yeah, Nedge's Urban Sports, The Annoying Devil. I think The Annoying Devil was my favourite because he used to walk around with like picket signs saying like "fat wanker" or.
It wouldn't be allowed anymore.
Stuff like that.
I don't think it would be. It wouldn't be televised. I
think he went into a gym once with a memory stick and plugged it into there was like a load of into all the monitors, and it said "Run you fat shit." So.
Well, you say that, but you've still got like Impractical Jokers, and they push a lot of boundaries, and that's still allowed.
True.
I think Balls of Steel was like a times 10 of Impractical Jokers.
Well, there was the ones with like who was the guy who used to like get onto the red carpet and stuff? and he would. I can't remember who that was.
I'm
Is it
behind.
still
I don't know any of this shit.
That one.
Is it still Balls to Steel?
Yeah, there was someone who used to like
Yeah.
try and interview like celebrities on the red carpet. I swear he did like Will Smith, and he got like in really big trouble. Oh, he said something. No, it was a woman. It was, what is her name? She's been in other stuff since. I don't know, but yeah, Balls of Steel. Balls of Steel was big, like stuff like that, and it's because I don't know. There's certain things like I don't think some people would find that funny because some people have like more of a. It's quite a kind of.
It's kind of immature, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more immature comedy, and some people kind of don't like immature comedy, and I think it's a bit of a spectrum. Like I would say, I usually veer away from immature comedy now, but like 4 or 5 years ago, Balls of Steel I could still appreciate though, but like there are some things now that I don't think I'd be able to watch anymore because I just wouldn't find it funny anymore. But I don't know. I'm trying to think what comedy I've watched recently.
Have you seen Friday Night Dinner?
Friday, yeah.
Friday. It's good, but it's got Will in from the Inbetweeners. It's just not as good. They set the bar too high, I think, for the Inbetweeners.
Yeah.
Because then you've got White Gold as well, which Simon and Jay are in, which is good.
Fresh
but
Meat.
It's just not as good.
Fresh Meat has Joe Thomas in it as well.
Which one's Joe Thomas?
He is.
The one who played Simon.
Simon, yeah. And Jack Whitehall's in that as well. Fresh Meat's good. But
I like Fresh Meat.
Oh yeah, I've seen a bit of that. It's good, isn't it?
That is
in
pretty
uni.
Good. Yeah. I think I've watched that a couple of times. I've ended up watching that with like, I watched it by myself years ago, and then like with like multiple like partners I've always ended up.
Oh.
Have you seen Fresh Meat? No. And then we watch Fresh Meat. Well, I say multiple, like 2. Like, but
it's more than one. It's multiple.
It's more than one. Yeah, bragging.
But tell you what, Jay from the Inbetweeners, what's his name? James Buckley. He was in a good film called The Comedian's Guide to Survival, and he was a stand-up in it, and he was trying to do a come-up, and in the end of it, Jimmy Carr was in it for like a few seconds. But
right.
That was a good film. But I think he just plays that person. Like he just plays Jay, which I think it's just him.
Yeah.
And he plays it so well.
It's like that in
if he's going to move any further. But
no, like Joe Thomas, who's obviously Simon in the Inbetweeners, and Kingsley in Fresh Meat. They're such similar characters. Like,
and in White Gold, he's similar too. To be honest.
Have you also seen that film where he goes to a festival as well?
What James Buckley does.
Yeah, I think it's called. No, not James Buckley. It's the one who plays Simon. I think it's just him and his mates go to a festival, or him and his mate, they go to a festival, and I don't think he's ever been like fucked up or anything before, so he has to like. He's basically Simon trying to take drugs. I think he's just always played the same character.
Thing is though, like because I think they are now slightly typecast in terms of they're always casting these roles that are similar to their Inbetweeners character. And I don't know when they're too old to be that sort of character anymore. I don't know what they'll.
Which I think he is now. I think he's
they're all
getting
like
close to like 40.
Yeah, they're all in their like mid-30s now, which is mad.
No way.
But it's weird how.
Look it up.
No, the Inbetweeners started in 2008, which is mental, and I don't like that. Obviously,
I'm pretty sure they were in their like early 20s even then.
Yeah, I think they were older than they weren't like school age
Bill
then.
was 36.
Yeah, that is horrible. Don't like it.
Think about that though, like
they should be like 24. They should be about 24.
It's really sad.
Well, having said that though, we're 23, so
yeah, we should start playing those sort of roles now. Like we would, if we were there.
Simon's 37, yeah.
So Channel 4. Channel 4. If you want the new versions of the Inbetweeners cast, then we can be 2 of them because, if you want, they're too old. They cannot be cast in those roles anymore. So stop it because they all have kids and wives. We don't have kids or wives. So
yeah, let us do it now. Speaking of like the Inbetweeners though, and like UK sitcoms, have you ever seen like when the US tries to like remake? Like, have you ever seen the US Inbetweeners?
Yes, sadly, yeah.
It's the worst thing in the world.
This is a good topic because virtually every single British sitcom there's been like a US pilot of it. So like
The Office too.
The
Office is the only one that's like
basically.
Better than, I would argue that the US one is better than the UK one, and I say that with my chest.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Difficult. I reckon that might be the.
I haven't watched either of them, so can't comment.
No, I've not watched enough of either of them to kind of like comment, but that's probably going to be the clickbaity YouTube title. So I'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, like there was a Peep Show American pilot. There's an IT crowd.
No, there wasn't.
There was.
No,
I don't know if I've seen
I'm not
it.
going to watch it.
No, it's
it will be
absolutely,
shit.
it's
It'll be
absolutely
shit.
dreadful. It's because there's some things where I do think like a lot of British comedy is very British, and there's no way it can be.
David Mitchell and Robert Webb have done another series called Back.
Yeah.
It's all right, but it's just why don't they just make another series of the Peep Show?
Yeah.
Why not? And the In-Between, why don't they just make another series of the In-Betweeners? They're the In-Betweeners in their working life. Just do it.
Yeah.
I think they always said they would come back. I saw that.
They won't.
They said they might come back in like 20 years, like 50s or something like that. I don't know.
They won't. They'll have kids and wives that'll be nagging. They won't do it.
You never
just do another series. Just keep going.
Just keep going, bring it back. Yeah, I'm sad about Peep Show, but like, luckily with Peep Show, you can, once you've finished it, you've forgotten the first series, so you can just go back to the start and watch.
Another good one is Misfits is a great series. Have you seen that?
I haven't,
Misfits is good,
and
yeah.
I've been nagged
like
into watching Misfits, but it's never happened.
Robert Sheehan, that is amazing. Nathan.
Yeah.
After I think he's in there for like the first two series, and then after that, it kind of sort of drops off a cliff.
It's still good, I think. It's still good.
It's all right, but he made it better. Speaking of sitcoms as well, I'm gonna just drop one in there that you won't know of. It was it was 1990. It lasted like one episode because it was actually a British one. It's called Heil
You're
Honey,
not really
I'm
selling
Home.
it. It's called what?
I'll put it on the screen. Oh no, you can't see it. Never mind. No, you can't see it. It's called Heil Honey, I'm Home. Heil Honey, I'm Home. It's starring someone called Neil McCall as Adolf Hitler. Basically, it's Hitler in like a...
Jesus, 1990s, one episode, and it's got Hitler in it.
What, Hitler is like a family man in a family sitcom. Like My Family or Outnumbered, but with Hitler.
Yeah, it was Hitler and Eva Braun, who lived next to a Jewish couple.
Oh, no.
Driven by Hitler's inability to get along with his neighbours.
I'm really not surprised it was one episode.
I can't watch stuff from like the 90s. The filming quality is too shit.
There are a few bits from the 90s. I like Mr. Bean, obviously, and we are running out of time. But I wanted to talk more about physical comedy. But we have like 4 minutes left, so we can maybe we can do a part 2. But yeah, what are your thoughts, Dominic, on Mr. Bean? But then even going back Charlie Chaplin and
well, I think Mr. Bean is. A lot of people say I look like Mr. Bean, but I didn't see it. It's very good, but yeah, I mean, you need to be very, very, very skilled to make people laugh without even speaking, incredibly skilled. Because Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson just doesn't. He's done stand up and he just doesn't speak. I think that's his thing. He just doesn't talk.
Yeah, he needs to have real good facial expressions.
Yeah, he is one of those people where he doesn't need to open his mouth. I've seen him he did something on stage with John Cleese once, which was pretty good from from Monty Python and 40 Towers. And
then you look at a combination would be, so Jimmy Carr is very he's a very good writer and he doesn't use much of his expressions, but James Acaster uses some physical comedy and some,
that's true,
obviously, dialogue, and he kind of has that good. But I don't know. I don't think many comedians, because it's a very high skill to do physical comedy. I don't think that many people actually do it these days, anyway.
Yeah, very true. So I think that wraps up the episode. I'm off to watch Hitler in a family sitcom. I think in a sec. Vito, do you have any quick final word before we end the episode?
Big beats are the best.
Get
high all the time.
Yeah, nice. I mean, we can close on that. And Dominic, cheers for coming on. Where can everyone find you? Obviously, we've touched on it, but
follow my TikTok. It needs growing, so give that a follow. And then if you like it, add my Instagram as well. My YouTube is a bit trash, so I probably wouldn't follow me on there. To be honest, I do the other two. And then you'll see. Some dates will come out at some point, and you can come and see me, and then maybe even talk to me afterwards.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, all the links for us and for Dominic, of course, are going to be down below. And if you are, I've actually recorded a little thing for the start of the audio versions of the episode talking about the YouTube channel. So if you're not watching us on YouTube, you can. So I've thrust it in your face. But yeah, just one more reminder, you can watch us on YouTube if you're not already. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening, and goodbye.
Yeah.